It's very concerning to see these young high school kids, and they are carrying fentanyl. They have it strapped on their body, risking their own health.
That is San Diego District Attorney Summer Stephan. Over the last 3 years, she has seen a steady increase in minors prosecuted for drug smuggling. For decades, Mexican drug cartels have made San Diego a key hub in their drug trafficking networks. And contrary to election year rhetoric, cartels rarely use migrants crossing illegally to smuggle fentanyl. Instead, they use people who cross the border through the official ports of entry without raising suspicion.
The organizers, the organized crime that's involved is smart enough to try to select people that can cross through the border without a criminal record so that their detection is at a lower level.
Fentanyl is the ideal drug for this type of smuggling. Small quantities of the powerful narcotic fetch big profits. So there's no need for the boats, planes, and underground tunnels that cartels have historically used to transport drugs like marijuana and cocaine. Fentanyl can be carried in a breast pocket or hidden in a glove compartment. Sidney Aki is the Director of Field Operations at the Customs and Border Protection's San Diego field office. He says cartels look for people who cross frequently and are desperate for cash. High school and college students often fit the bill.
They prey on individuals that potentially are on financial hardship, and they utilize these individuals to try and bring narcotics into the United States.
Sometimes all it takes is a few $100s or the promise of a shiny new smartphone.
They're getting paid a small nominal fee, maybe an Apple iPhone or Android phone or something to that nature, which they really cherish and want.
There are also people smuggling fentanyl without even knowing it. The practice is so common that Border Patrol agents have a name for it. They call it being a blind mule. This almost happened to 2 students at Southwestern College in Chula Vista. GPS tracking devices were found on the undercarriage of their cars. Here is Southwestern's Chief Safety Officer, Marco Vareño.
We were able to see what appeared to be a young gentleman get out of the passenger side and attached a device underneath the car, which matched the location in which the student had found it. So that information was provided to the federal authorities, of course.
Vareño believes that smugglers targeted the students because they cross the border often. Drugs can be planted in a car in Tijuana and then picked up in the Southwestern parking lot without anyone finding out.
We're all creatures of habit, right? We usually park in the same location because it's in proximity to your classes, so it's easy to track that car. You have it identified, you know where they park, you track it for a few days to see what time frames they're in, and it's easy pick up and drop off.
Campus police are now warning new students during orientation.
It would be irresponsible for our department to say this doesn't happen because we don't hear about it. So we need to be conscious that this is going on. For every 2 or 3 that you actually spot, how many you don't.
Stephan is also counting on education and awareness to combat fentanyl smuggling. Her office recently posted a billboard in El Cajon showing the faces of dozens of San Diegans killed by fentanyl.
I was just with 32 San Diego families who've lost children and loved ones. We were putting up a billboard that was driven by these families with the faces of their children and their siblings.
That's part of a larger outreach effort that involves visiting San Diego's high schools to warn people about the dangers of getting caught up in the drug trade.
The recruitment is very active, and what the cartels tell these kids is that nothing's going to happen to you.
But with more than 700 San Diegans dying from overdoses every year, Stephan says the consequences are very real. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.